Welcome to this edition of The Rhody Reporter. I am your host for the segment, Mark Zaccaria. Worldwide economic activity is an extremely fluid subject. This is especially so under the Trump administration. The U.S. president stirs the pot more than most of his predecessors. To his credit, though, he then stays on topic to bend the power curve back towards America. Just a few weeks ago, your humble Rhody reporter offered the opinion that a real trade deal with China was at hand. Although the Chinese then pulled back, this country is better off because its negotiating team let them do it, rather than trying to sweeten the pot to get a deal of any kind on paper quickly. Don't worry, the Chinese are not practicing their famed thousand-year patience. Smart money in the economic community has it that a favorable deal will be sealed in the late third quarter or early fourth of 2019. That's especially likely if Chinese President Xi actually meets with U.S. President Trump at the G20 summit in Osaka in late June. Meanwhile, in the never-a-dull-moment department, the lull in Chinese negotiations has been used to apply lightning pressure to the Mexican government. The tariff lever seems to have pried free their help, with the tsunami of Central American runners making a bull rush for our southern border. If Mexico actually lives up to the agreement, we will have substantial help in stemming that avalanche of humanity and enjoying the economic benefits which result. The break from Sino-American talks also enabled the president and his economic team to reassure the Brits that they do have other options to European Union trade sanctions if they make a crash landing of their Brexit. Even without a late 2019 China deal, if the U.S. gets a rate cut from the Fed or a transportation infrastructure bill from Congress, the American economy will keep growing at a very healthy clip. If we also get a China agreement, the sky's the limit. Which brings everyone in the ocean state back around to the exact same conclusions which ended our earlier look at the global economy. No matter how good things get for the U.S. as a whole, the outlook remains bleak for little Rhody. State government persists in featherbedding and pandering to special interests to the crushing detriment of the local business climate. Hard-working Rhode Islanders should also keep a weather eye on their federal delegation. There's no stellar track record of bringing home the federal largesse with that crew either. In both cases, it's all because they do not have to. There are no political consequences for the governor when she ups her payroll costs by tens of millions for an army of PR flacks who don't do anything but flood the national media with pestering requests for ink. There's no doubt the National Press Corps would prefer to get robocalls in Mandarin. Nor are there any consequences when the Rhode Island House and Senate gang up on the cities and towns to force endless contracts and guaranteed overtime on them. Jack Reed and both Ocean State federal reps are up for re-election next year. Think they'll face any backlash because Rhody remains near last in state federal expenditures? So the global stage remains set for a prolonged performance of good times. But the voters of Rhode Island won't go to the polls and vote for their own self-interests. Sure, your union tells you how to vote or else. And your sainted grandmother voted for FDR, so what choice do you have? Folks, you have the choice to vote for prosperity, and nobody else has to know.